Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Nona from theallianslover.com. I have another style video for you today. We are looking at some outfits inspired by Mila Kunis' character, Jackie Burkhart, from that 70's show. So if you have a similar body type, a similar frame, or even some similar aspects of your silhouette, I hope that you can gain some insight from this video regarding how to accommodate your own features in terms of creating certain looks, certain outfits, or certain silhouettes. Our first outfit is this gorgeous wrap top outfit with these high-waisted sleek trousers and, most importantly, at least in my opinion, this very glamorous hairstyle. So if you try to imagine this outfit with a very sleek high ponytail, it's completely different. Try to imagine it with easygoing, relaxed pigtail braids, super different. Or even a very sleek, straight bob cut. It's just not going to look the same. So hair is really important here, whether your hair is super curly or super straight, a bit of volume and some face framing kind of sweeps or, waves or curls, whatever it is, anything that brings attention to your eyes and your cheekbones and has a bit of polish to it is really amazing for this kind of look. So some notes on selecting a good wrap top, especially if you're very petite and narrow, if you have delicate curves, go for a neckline that is a bit more narrow and plunging rather than very wide and shallow. A very wide and shallow neckline will kind of erase your shoulders and take attention away from this delicate waist that the wrap top creates. You also want to be careful with the sleeves because this look does have oversized, slightly voluminous, longer sleeves that, touch the knuckles almost. You want to make sure that the shoulder seams really do line up with your shoulders. Any longer and then the sleeve will take over the outfit. Any shorter and the sleeves will probably look a little bit weird and you'll look a bit constrained. So accuracy with the shoulder seam is super important. You will also want to pick a wrap top or a top that isn't too long. It doesn't have to be a crop top, but it shouldn't cover too much of this high-waisted trouser. If you choose a full-length top that really, drags past the waistband quite a bit, you're going to get a bit of bulk in that area. So that is not the look that we're going for with this outfit. You want a clear waist definition. So again, too much bulk even beneath the waistband can take away from that sleek line, the sleek outer line that this outfit is beautifully presenting. So for a little bit of variety, if you don't have a wrap top or if you can't find one, if you don't want one, you can go for a crop top with a very defined waist through some ruching here, a fun pattern, a V-neck that's narrow and deep, and some fun flouncy sleeves that don't have to be full length. You can also go for a slight peplum top effect with this waist ruching and longer, more exaggerated sleeves. Still with this top, even though it's longer than a crop top, the peplum effect is just going to kind of hover over the waistband, a little past it, if even it's not going to be a full length top that's going to cover a whole lot of the waist and hip area. So with the trousers, you'll want a nice, accurate, high-waisted fit. Make sure it really hits you at the narrowest part of your waist. And you want a somewhat soft fabric that will drape across your waist, your hips, and your upper thighs to create that nice sleek fit. A few variations on this include a bit of a front dart or a front stitch, just to keep the fabric a bit more flat if you have a problem with trousers kind of creating a lot of volume here, especially with pockets. A seam or a stitch there can be really useful. You can even do it yourself if you want. Or here is a little bit more of a relaxed version with a kind of wrapped effect here, but these will both look great and you'll get the same kind of silhouette and image. Okay, so our next outfit is this super cute kind of corduroy pink bell bottoms paired with this little knit pullover and the scarf. It is all about the scarf, in my opinion. And yes, the hat really tops it off, but for me, this scarf is absolutely critical to this outfit. If you take away the scarf or replace the scarf with, say, a knitted variation that you throw over your shoulder, it's going to be a completely different outfit. It's just a very different kind of vibe and shape. So if you're lucky, you can find a nice slim fitted sweater or pullover with 3/4 sleeves or half sleeves with a fun print. Kind of difficult if we're being realistic, so I added this mock neck solid sweater with fun little volumes at the ends of the sleeves, or you could also wear a printed bodysuit for a little bit of a change. You just want to make sure it's slim fitted, that it can be smoothly and securely tucked into high waist or mid-rise pants, trousers, corduroy, denim, whichever one you want. You just want to make sure that it's thin enough so it's not going to roll up on you underneath. So bodysuits tend to make that tucking action much more easy. So for the pants, you'll want a bit of length, you'll want a bit of volume at the bottom. It doesn't have to be the most dramatic bell bottom. It can be a slight flare or a slight widening at the bottom. It's just a very elongated kind of look, so you'll want to wear this with platform heels, high-heeled, open-toed booties, peep-toe shoes. I don't really see this working with flats unless you have found the perfectly tailored bell bottoms or flares that don't drag on the floor when you walk. But really, this look is great for really elongating, wearing heels, embracing the heels, something that Victoria Beckham loves to do. If you look at her, she's always wearing heels, but the pants that she wears tends to cover it, so you get that nice silhouette that this outfit is all about. And most importantly, a scarf, a nice silk scarf tied kind of like an ascot that trails almost to the waistband. So without the scarf, what might happen is that the outfit will look a little too simple and all of the volume at the bottom of the pants might kind of be a little heavy, might drag you down, might drag all of the visual interest downwards, because there is a mid-rise to high-rise kind of range with this outfit. So the scarf gives a little bit more visual interest up top. Even if you wear a print up top, sometimes that's not enough when you're wearing a very voluminous and exaggerated bottom. So adding this scarf will add more interest up here, will frame the face, which is super important for most romantics, most petite women, the face framing is very, very critical to make sure that the eye doesn't just go downwards, and the hat can be added on to, exaggerate the dispersion of visual interest upwards. The earrings can also add to it, but I think this outfit is cute even without the little hat. So our next look is this little trio actually of earthy kind of plaid and flannels, wools, this cozier kind of look. And again, a scarf. Super essential to these looks is the scarf and a hat if you'd like, and also the hair. So again, if you try to imagine this look with a super high sleek ponytail, it's just not gonna fit. You need that ornamentation around the face to really make this outfit look as good as it does here. So you can wear this outfit with, bell-bottom denim, jeans, trousers, wide-legged trousers, even slim or straight-legged trousers. The emphasis is really on the jacket here. So I chose these two variations so that you will certainly not be overwhelmed by a printed jacket, especially if you're very petite and narrow. A lot of petite, narrow women suffer from these jackets, making them look boxy, kind of eating them up, drowning them, not fitting them correctly. So these following tips will help prevent that from happening. So look for a well-proportioned collar or lapel. You don't want a collar that is super wide. Again, that's gonna really dig into this area between your neck and your shoulder, and something is gonna get thrown off, whether your neck ends up looking kind of wider or whether your shoulders completely disappear. Keep the collar and lapel on the thinner side, ideally with rounded kind of shapes or just a little bit of sharpness as a detail. You also want to look for shoulder pads that either give a little bit of sharpness and lift, so nothing boxy, nothing broadening, just a little bit of lift like this, or a pair that really embrace your own shoulders and the shape of your shoulders. So if you have a slight slope to your narrow shoulders, the jacket should really reflect that and not try to add onto it or change the shape. Sleeves are also super important. Make sure that they actually fit you, and it's better to choose sleeves that have a bit of narrowing or some accessorizing at the cuff to make sure that you are not going to completely erase your wrist. You want definition throughout your limbs. And lastly, look for some, tapering at the waist, whether it's something as explicit as a peplum waist or, just a slight tapering in the cut of the jacket, especially if you wear it buttoned up or belted. Don't go for a jacket that's straight cut or that's boxy, because you're going to get lost in it and you're not going to create this cute little sassy outfit. So scarves, super critical to this look. You can wear a very short, thin silk scarf like she wears here, or a longer, thicker kind of woolen one here. I personally prefer silk scarves, especially if you have a more glamorous hairstyle going on. The shininess of the silk scarf tends to emphasize, any luxurious hairstyle that's going on. So a silk scarf is great to have if you are any type of romantic, if you need more face framing detail. It's just always a great accessory to have on hand. And the hat will definitely bring more interest to this outfit, whether it's a beret or a cap. You can play with different textures, different material like wool or patterns, or like a fuzzy little slouchy beret. So here is my little take on that. Again, the beret, the hat, can be of many different volumes of different material. This is like a chunky knitted one I got at a thrift store in Japan. The thrift stores in Japan are amazing, at least for me, because I'm more petite, I'm shorter, and the fits of the clothing just, match my body type more, because there's more people who are shaped like me. So that's where I got that. And a little silk scarf, it really does so much to glamorize an outfit or make it look a little bit more chic, more sassy, which is something that comes very naturally to the theatrical romantic aesthetic. All right, this is our last slide, and we have some jumpsuits going on over here. I really recommend lighter material when you are more petite, you have more delicate curves. Sometimes if you're petite and you have larger curves like bigger breasts and more ample hips, more heavy materials can either be very boxy or they can be forgiving because they kind of mold to you. Whereas if you are petite and you don't have, very large curves, if you don't have ample breasts or ample hips, it can be very tricky to wear anything that's not lightweight in terms of rompers, because they tend to really create a lot of linearity and boxiness, and they don't enhance the more delicate little tapers of the body. So this first little romper or jumpsuit that I put up is chambray. It's more of that softer cotton wash material than 100% canvas denim, which is really hard to find in a very tailored form like here. Also watch the collar, make sure it's proportionate to you. Watch the waist emphasis. Sometimes, actually a lot of the time, rompers tend to have a very low waist that can create this weird kind of baggy effect, or like weird volume where the waist actually is on more petite women. So not only does it erase the waist, but it makes the waist look larger. So look for higher waist placement if you can, because rompers just have this interesting nature to them where they kind of shift around different parts of your body. Here we have a terry cotton romper. So this one will drape closely to the body, but it's not going to look as floaty and flowery as a lot of the very thin 100% cotton or kind of polyester rayon blend jumpsuits or rompers that are, dominating the romper market. This one's a little harder to find, but I believe well worth it, especially with cute belted detail, the little collar here. It just looks a little bit more vintage inspired. And yes, I will link these outfits in the description. And finally, for a full length option, look for something that has a bit of a higher neckline so that you can also pair it with long sleeves like she does here, and not get dragged down too much. Make sure that the neckline has a more delicate or tapered quality to it so that it's not extremely square, boxy, and baggy. Look for the built-in waist definition and a more slim and fitted fit throughout the hips and the legs, and ideally something cropped a little bit above the ankles if it is a slim or straight cut kind of jumpsuit. If you're going for bell bottoms, make sure that you're wearing them with something elongating like heels, because again, it's really hard to pull off bell bottoms when you're petite in flats. You can even wear, those funky platform boots or those platform flip-flops, because most likely your foot is just going to be completely hidden. And again, add on a silk scarf if you'd like to add some flair to the outfit, or you can even tie your skinny silk scarf around your waist like a belt. Just make sure it's very, silky and draping, and that it's not adding bulk to your waist, and make sure, it matches the color and the theme of your romper. So that concludes this video on some outfits inspired by the Jackie Burkhart character from that 70's show. I think it's really fun to look at different fictional characters throughout different series or movies, and I plan on doing more of those. And if this has helped you like I hoped it would, I would love to hear or see any vintage inspired outfits, because I'm particularly obsessed with this era. I think it's fun but glamorous at the same time, and it's just a win-win for me when outfits inspired by this era are successfully created and worn with total confidence. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!